Hello and welcome to this tutorial, and this tutorial is going to be a practice example tutorial. So in this tutorial we'll be revising what we have done previously. So for this tutorial we will be creating a simple Java program which is going to accept the name from the user, and it is going to display the user's name upon accepting it. So now let's go ahead and get started with the program. So as we are going to store the name of a particular person, the very first thing which we need is that we actually need a variable to store his name. So actually the type of variable which we need here is going to be the string variable. So in order to create a string variable, we just type in the keyword string and then simply give the variable some name. So let's say the name is going to be name here. So we have basically declared the string variable which is called as name. Now the next thing which we do is that we actually need to ask the user to enter his name. So in order to do that, that is displaying some text onto the output screen, we type in system.out.println, and let's now ask the user, and this should be println. And now let's ask the user to enter his name. So we type in enter your name. Now once we have asked the user to enter his name, the next thing which we need to do is that we actually need to have something which is going to accept his name. So basically, to accept anything from the user, we use a scanner. So now even before using a scanner, we actually need to create a scanner. So basically, in order to create a scanner object, we type in scanner. Let's name this scanner as sc equals new scanner, and inside it we just pass in system.in. So basically this thing right here is nothing but the object of scanner. So basically whenever we need to accept anything from the user, we use the scanner. Now even before using a scanner, we need to declare the scanner. So this thing right here is nothing but a declaration of a scanner. So once we have declared the scanner and once we have named this scanner as sc, now let's go ahead and actually use this scanner to accept the name from the user. So in order to accept something from the user, we type the scanner name, then type in dot, and then in order to accept the value from the user, we type in next. So what this thing does is that it is going to accept the string from the user, and actually if you need to accept an integer value, we type in next int, but as in this case we are going to accept a string from the user, so for string you simply use a method which is called as next. So simply type in next, and actually this thing is going to accept a string from the user. Now we actually need a variable to save this string right here. So basically we are going to store this thing into the name variable. So we type in name equals sc.nextInt. So what this line of code is basically going to do is that it is going to accept the name from the user and it is going to store the value of name into the name variable. So now once we have the value of name stored in the name variable, let's now go ahead and let's just display out the value of name on the output screen. So in order to do that, we type in system.out.println, and in order to display the value which is stored in the name variable, simply type in name over here. So what this line of code is going to do is that it is basically going to print out the value which is stored in the name variable. So now even before running this code, let's go ahead and understand what we have done. So in this tutorial, we actually wanted to design a program which is going to accept the name from the user and it is going to later display it. So basically to store a name, we have created a name variable which is of the type string. So basically name is nothing but a string of characters. So we have used the string variable to store the name. Then after this, we have declared a scanner, as a scanner is actually required to accept the input from the user. Now once we have done these things, the next thing which we did is that we actually wanted to ask the user to enter his name, and therefore we have typed in this line of code which says enter your name. So this is basically going to display out the text like enter your name on the output screen. After this, when the user is asked to enter his name, as he is going to enter his name, we need something to capture it. So basically to capture the user input, we have created the scanner object which we have here. So basically, to accept anything via scanner, we type the scanner object name dot next. So basically, if you're accepting strings, we use next, and if you're accepting integers, we use next int. So we use next, and basically the value which this thing returns is stored into the name variable. Now once everything is done, the final thing which we need to do is that we actually need to print out the value entered by the user. So finally we have typed in system.out.println and passed in the variable name right over here. So now in order to check if this program actually performs correctly, let's go ahead and save the code and let's try to run this program. So as you could see, this is what we get as an output. So it is asking us to enter your name. So let's type in. So when I typed in my name and when I hit enter, as you could see, my name appeared right over here. So that's basically how you create a simple program which is going to accept your name and it is later going to display it. So this was a simple practice example that we have covered, and the main purpose of this practice example was to revise the basic concepts as the string data type, the scanner, and the system.out.println, which is basically used to display something on the output screen. So that's it for this tutorial, and I hope you guys understood the significance of each line of code in this tutorial. So thank you very much for watching this tutorial, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Thank you.